History has been a witness to the rigorous freedom struggle in India, spanning across a century. The rising tensions in Europe due to the World War were adding to the insecurities of the British rule in India, which had become a hotbed of anti-colonial activities. It was during the Indian freedom movement. A tiny force with 1 battalion was raised by the British Army with a magnificent parade at Neemuch on October 31st, 1939. This force was named as the Crown Representative Police.
At the stroke of the midnight hour, when the world sleeps, India will awake to life and freedom.
A decade later, the Crown Representative Police saw a transformation during the post-independence era. The Iron Man of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, envisaged its future viability by conceiving the Crpf Act 1949.
To make his maximum contribution to the solution of our problems.
It was Sardar Patel who rechristened the CRP's name as the Central Reserve Police Force. Owing to the growing dispute over Ladakh, the Indian government assigned CRPF to guard the Indo-Tibetan borders against Chinese encroachments. CRPF honored this confidence by setting up 10 outposts amid spine-chilling temperatures of this world's highest plateau. On the fateful day of 21st October, the Chinese troops ambushed the CRPF patrol party at Hot Springs. 10 brave CRPF Jawans laid down their lives. This incident was followed by a strong condemnation from all quarters of the world. To salute the indomitable courage, 21st October is observed as the Police Commemoration Day every year by all the police forces in India. The ever-soaring hostility between India and Pakistan was at its peak, particularly due to Kashmir. While Kashmir was the prime focus of Indian Army during this time, it was little realized that Pakistan ployed to test the Indian peace resolve in a sector far down south, in the run of Kutch. 4 companies of the 2nd Battalion of CRPF were deployed at Sardar Post in the wastelands of Rann. On the night of 8th April 1965, Pakistan stealthily launched Operation Desert Hawk with a mighty force of 3,500 men. Despite being heavily outnumbered, these 100 Jawans of CRPF held the whole Pakistani brigade at bay for 12 hours, till the Indian Army arrived. The Indian government saluted this extraordinary bravery of their sons by observing 9th April as the Valor Day. Five CRPF battalions fought shoulder to shoulder with the Indian Army in the Indo-Pak War in 1971. Northeast India has been troubled by communal strife, ethnic insurgencies and separatism since the 70s. For over 3 decades, CRPF has been deployed among the vast terrain of these states to control the burning situation in the northeast. Though normalcy has returned to these states, CRPF still continues to assist the local governments in maintaining peace in the northeast.
एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय.
Punjab saw the most ugly shape of terrorism in the early 80s. CRPF served as a lead paramilitary force in the heights of the rebellion. As much as 45% of the force was deployed in the early 80s to control the situation. For the first time in the history of paramilitary forces in India, 13 companies of CRPF were sent to Sri Lanka as a part of the Indian peacekeeping force. CRPF adapted itself efficiently in a foreign territory, thus restoring peace in Sri Lanka. Kashmir has been a flashpoint between India and Pakistan since partition. For over 6 decades, CRPF has played a lead role in containing infiltration, smuggling and terrorism in this sector. With 25% of its force deployed in Jammu and Kashmir, CRPF continues to protect the crown of our motherland from all kinds of threats. Several bomb blasts and violent activities have been foiled by the Jawans.
जम्मू कश्मीर के सोपोर में आतंकी और सुरक्षा बलों के बीच मुठभेड़ हो रही है.
But the task becomes increasingly challenging in cases of mob attacks. The year 2010 was a dark phase in the history of Kashmir, which saw the increase in internal disturbances. CRPF posts and bunkers were frequently targeted by mobs. But it was the remarkable restraint shown by the CRPF Jawans during these times that brought the situation under control. Today, militancy has slowly waned and peace has been restored in the valley. CRPF guards all the important locations in the area. The waters of Dal Lake thank the Jawans for their perpetual presence even in the most adverse conditions. With CRPF's efforts, today Kashmir is once again witnessing an outpour of tourists. The entire country was a witness to the gallantry performance by the CRPF Jawans when the militants launched an attack on the Parliament House on December 13, 2001. Not only the attack was foiled, all the 5 heavily armed terrorists were gunned down by the alert CRPF personnel. The nation honored the great martyrs of the force for their relentless courage. On July 5, 2005, 5 terrorists attacked the Ram Janmabhoomi site in Ayodhya. All of them were killed by the CRPF personnel. Left-wing extremism, also known as Naxalism in India, has grown from an indigenous peasant movement to an armed rebellion. Starting from the small village in West Bengal, Naxal movement became formidable after the merger of 2 prominent Naxalite outfits, PWG and MCC. The core aim of this merger was to seize political power from Pashupati in Nepal to Tirupati in Andhra Pradesh. With a strategy to hamper the development process in these states, this merger took a ferocious turn. Despite the lurking dangers, CRPF has set up camps amid these dense forests. The challenge is to fight among these hostile forests mired with explosives. The enemy here sees no rules and chooses the timing of his attack. For them, the biggest shield is the forest, and their best plan of attack is ambush. The inhospitable terrain of these states is today home for the CRPF Jawans. The persistent deployment of the CRPF Jawans in these areas has impaired the growth of the movement. The dog squad of the well-trained and athletic Belgian Shepherds have helped in these anti-Naxal operations. CRPF decimated the core armed capabilities of the Maoists by neutralizing several Maoist leaders. Today, Naxal movement is gradually weakening and their numbers are dwindling. It is due to CRPF's presence that the Naxal dream is diminishing, and the day is not far when we will see a Naxal-free India. Grit, determination and valor have been the hallmarks of CRPF since its inception. Today, CRPF is the largest paramilitary force in the world, with more than 3 lakh personnel and 229 battalions, which include special trained forces for various security requirements of the country.
All this kind of things now with a well-planned route, a well-planned this thing, and
The elections are one of the most crucial and significant events in a democratic country like India.
Now I will request you to give, whenever you send a transport plan.
The diversity of Indian elections owes to the requirement of an all-pervasive force like CRPF. The Jawans of CRPF are deployed all over the country to ensure a safe and secure ballot. CRPF also guards the important installations of the country. CRPF has also ensured an incident-free Amarnath Yatra for past many years. CRPF has credited itself with a global distinction by efficiently handling the peace missions under the auspices of United Nations.
I am proud to be a member of the Central Reserve Police Force, and I am proud to be representing India and the force in the United Nations mission in Liberia.
The current operational scenario for the CRPF envisages a high state of operational preparedness. Therefore, significant additions have been made to the force's inventory to enhance the operational capabilities of the force.
आज आपका वर्टिकल
An alert mind, along with stamina and endurance, are the best weapons for the soldier in combat. To impart the highest standards of physical, mental and professional skills, CRPF has various training institutions spread across the country. Over the years, CRPF has produced many outstanding sportsmen and athletes who have brought great honor and appreciation both within the country and abroad. The history of CRPF is replete with instances of heroic deeds and acts of valor from the day of its inception. Thousands of Jawans gave their sacrifices in the service of the nation.
शत्रु का मुकाबला करने के सिवाय असाधारण वीरता के लिए कीर्ति चक्र स्वर्गीय श्री भृगुनंदन चौधरी की माता श्रीमती सुशीला चौधरी। श्री प्रकाश रंजन मिश्रा।
I congratulate all the CRPF personnel who by their dedication and commitment have brought name and pride to the force as it marches through its Diamond Jubilee years. I wish CRPF great success in all its endeavors.
Given this momentum that the force has gathered, I am sure that in future the CRPF will continue to do well and continue to be the main bulwark of India's internal security apparatus, which it is at present and will continue to be so. And there is a great future in this force, both for the personnel joining the force and those in the force.
Today, CRPF has the entire infrastructure which contributes towards the attainment of the security and safety of the country. CRPF performs its mandatory role of being peacekeepers of the nation. CRPF is India.